Robert Forster. This was on Friday evening. Some of us were coming out of a screening at Fox when this broke. A lot of media were there. At the time, it was a screening for Jojo Rabbit for the Guilds for awards season. And some people actually there knew Robert quite well and had worked with Robert on a couple of things. Probably best known for Jackie Brown in the last couple of years. Breaking Bad as well was something that obviously gave Robert a resurgence. But I will always remember him from The Black Hole.
Me too.
Which was a movie that as a kid I thought it was a fantastic movie. It wasn't a hit, it was one of the Disney movies that didn't land financially, but he really made such an impression to me. So first of all, Dimitri, your memories of Robert Forster.
That's what I was gonna lead in with, is that I do, when I saw him in Jackie Brown, I said, that's the guy from The Black Hole.
Yeah.
And he was so good in Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
So that revived his career. But yeah, going back to The Black Hole, I think that is a movie that actually has aged well too, because when the only thing that Black Hole had really going against it is that it was so soon after Star Wars, and Star Wars it was not, and people were just making that association, special effects and high action, and it had great stuff in it, but it wasn't Star Wars. It's a little bit darker too. But he was really great in that movie, and for all intents and purposes, I never met the gentleman, but I hear he was a great, and he was respected, but I heard he was a really great guy.
Yeah,
it was really nice.
I know the Moultons were very close to Robert, and they were at the screening that I was at last Friday, and they obviously came out and they'd been to this reception post Jojo Rabbit, and then obviously got the news. And I know Robert had been around to their house, been on the podcast with Leonard a number of times, and we're close family friends. I know Jesse was particularly close to him as well. But your thoughts?
I mean, I think he was an incredible actor. One of which who totally knew how to strike the balance between having a career both in film and in television.
Yeah.
But who was always sort of under the radar, never
even in the prime of his career.
Right. Someone who was never really like that well known.
Yeah.
But I just was looking, as Dimitri was talking, I was looking up his credits on IMDb, and it's amazing how much stuff he was in. I totally forgot that he was in Heroes.
Yeah.
He just had this fine balance of doing both.
He was one of those dependable guys that when you saw him in anything, you knew that even if the product wasn't great, he was going to give a good performance. He's that guy from That Thing who was a kind of a sign of a redeeming sign of quality, which I thought was great. And from all intents and purposes, from what I've heard, as Dimitri was saying, was genuinely a really nice guy, very much of an era.
He was a working actor. He was a character actor.
Right.
Because he could never really take off as a lead role as much as he tried. I mean, when you think about when Black Hole came out, that was the early 80s, right? Yeah. That was kind of a lead role for him, and he was around some really good actors of that time. Even in Jackie Brown, when he comes back, people took notice of him. But think about how many lead movie roles after Jackie Brown did they give him?
Yeah.
But he didn't mind being support.
He was also sort of age-wise and sort of physicality-wise. He wasn't, when he was coming through, he wasn't young enough to be the sexy young heartthrob. True. And he wasn't old enough to become that more discerning. So he was kind of always, wherever his career progressed, he was always kind of, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm the potatoes and gravy. I'm that bit of the meal that everybody's gonna like, and I'm gonna be really dependable. But he was neither the heartthrob and he was neither the grizzled thing. It's kind of his career, and I think, to be honest with you, that offered him some of the roles that many actors don't get to play because they tend to be shoehorned into A or C, and Robert coasted along very, very competently in B, just consistently doing good work.
Absolutely, and although I never got to interview him, I can only imagine that he would feel that he was a working actor.
Yeah.
I mean, a working actor. So he was getting paid for something that he obviously loved.
Yeah.
And continuously and consistently.
Yeah.
Hey Popcorn Talk fans, if you like this clip, be sure to check out the link in the description below to see the whole episode. Also, we'd appreciate it if you'd like this video and comment your thoughts. No matter what you're a fan of, we have a show for you. See you at the movies.